Sports tours are a tricky thing and they promise a lot. They got to be able to commute one day and tackle two up long distance riding the next. With the new Tiger Sport 800, Triumph are saying they've hit a perfect balance. A bike that can really do it all.
So have Triumph created their Goldilocks? We have here the new Triumph Tiger Sport 800. It's heavily based off the Tiger 660, except it has a completely new engine.
The Tiger Sport 800 is Triumph's new mid-range sports tourer. It has a great spec sheet, 115 horsepower, adjustable shower forks, a rear shock with remote preload, cruise control, a quick shifter, IMU, fancy dash, comfortable riding position, and a massive 41 genuine accessories. I honestly thought the motor was just going to be a bored out street triple 765. It wasn't till the Triumph presentation we had on the launch where I learned it is actually a completely different motor. What does that mean? Well, it's got new pistons, conrod, crank, casings, pretty well everything. The result? A stupidly flat torque curve that is 1000 RPM lower than the 765, and it's surprisingly quick.
Have a look at the get up and go this thing's got. We'll pin it in a second. It is proper rapid. The motor, this thing's an absolute peach. It's got more than enough power. You can really have a good time with this. I don't think it's lacking power. It's super torquey, flat torque curve, and it revs out. It's a lot of fun. You kind of short shift it and cruise around, or knock it down a gear or two and whip it on. I really like the motor, hey? It's quicker than I thought it would be. I have a lot of fun with it. Feeling perfect. Absolutely perfect in all maps. I'm currently in sport map. No on-off issues at all. Smooth throughout the whole rev range. Cruising along at highway speeds. Very easy and smooth. It's also got plenty of power left. You can do some overtaking too. Feeling around town, absolutely perfect, no issues at all, no hunting, no surging, and the on-off is really nice. And something I've noticed that would be good for two-up riding is when you come off the accelerator, it's not a jolt, it's kind of smooth and gradual, so you're probably not knocking helmets when you got a pillion. Another good thing is the quick shifter works at slow speeds and small throttle openings. It's really good, both up and down. I've noticed when you hammer it too, completely fine. Yeah, it's a really good system. I like it.
Let's talk about the suspension. At the front, we got the shower separate function forks. One side controls compression, the other controls rebound. We go back to the shock. It's a non-adjustable unit except for preload. It has a remote preload adjuster, which is a fantastic addition on a sports tourer. The suspension is good to a point. If you're pushing really hard on rough roads, it doesn't quite hold up for me. And then I found on longer rides, it was getting a bit too harsh and you do notice it. Overall, it's quite good. I do think they should have added slightly higher quality suspension. I mean, this is really Shower's bargain basement suspension. The clickers do work quite well on the front. Initially, it was a little bit wallowy for me. It wasn't settling quite enough, so I added some rebound and that has helped. On the rear, I added in a bit of preload and that also made it not wallow as much in the rear, but I would definitely like some rebound, at least in the back, and also compression. I would really appreciate too. Overall, good suspension. I think it could be a bit better though.
The handling on this bike is really interesting. On these kind of roads, back roads, highways, gentle bends, absolutely fantastic. I really enjoy it. When it gets to the twisty stuff, I found myself struggling to begin with. I found I was tipping in way too soon or way too late. I've done some tweaks. I've added preload to the rear and some rebound to the front, and realised you have to ride this bike completely differently to the naked speed triple we've been riding the last couple of days. And now I've kind of got in the groove. You've got to sit deeper in the corners and kind of in the middle corners for a long time and then tip it in. You've got so much leverage here. It's a taller bike, so you sit in deep, still sitting in deep, then you tip it in. Well, that's what I'm finding works for me. Or sitting right in the middle of the corner and hugging the middle. And then you can really hustle this thing along. Just a different style of bike, a bit more upright. Takes a little bit to get used to, but once you do, I really enjoy the handling of this. Just initially, you might struggle. Well, I did.
I find the riding position to be absolutely fantastic. The seat to bar to peg ratio really works for me. You can kind of really still attack in this position, but it's comfortable. You can do all day rides in this. I really like the riding position. I think they've nailed it. For me personally, I think there could be a little bit more cushion in the seat when you're riding for a couple of hours and getting a bit of bummus nummus. For a pillion, it is great that they've added these grab handles. They're really solid and easy to get hold on. And also the rear seat, it's really big and cushy back here. Just wouldn't mind if the rider seat had a bit more cushion. The build quality is typical Triumph. That's to say, fantastic overall. The paint looks great and all the fit and finish is well done. The one thing that stands out to me are the brake and clutch levers. They're very cheap. They're kind of teamy specials. I would like a nice set of black levers on there. Besides that, it's really hard to fault. There's also a ton of features and accessories on the bike. I think if you added some heated grips, you're pretty well done and you're good to go.
So who is buying them? Generally experienced riders, but also people coming up from smaller capacities. A lot of people have asked, why should I get this over the Tiger 660? Well, if you're in Australia, the 660 is a learner bike only, and having ridden the uncorked 660, this motor is a completely different beast. It has a lot more grunt, top end, and usability. If you're a bit more experienced or going to do some two-up riding, the 800 is a no-brainer.
So is the Triumph Tiger Sport 800 a good bike? It most certainly is. It is a very good bike. It's not a bike that wows you straight away, but I found the more time I had on the bike, I grew to like it more and more. Triumph have really nailed their design brief with this. It does everything well, doesn't do anything fantastic, but it's just a really good all-rounder. And one of the great things is it has a really long service intervals and a low cost of ownership. So I think it's 16,000 kilometers per oil change and service, which is absolutely ridiculous. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable with that and they'd probably do about 8,000. But if you are doing bigger trips, you can really stretch it out. Should you buy the Tiger 800? Look, if you're in the market for a sports tourer, I think it's a really good option and worth considering. All right, if you haven't, check out my other content. Make sure you click that subscribe button and keep it on the back wheel. Catches.